Hi, my name is Joel Solomon. I'm a prosperity coach, and my mission is to help at least 100,000 people become financially free. So, welcome to your financial freedom videos. This is the first in a series of videos on financial freedom, and this will be the longest because we'll be going through the background of what we'll be covering, as well as my background, my career history, and I'll also be talking about some exercises we'll be doing. So let's begin. First of all, I'd like you to fill out the form at the bottom of the page where it says what you agree to for each of these videos. It's very simple, and I'll read it to you. I, Joel Solomon, agreed to be present for all financial freedom videos. I've turned off all social media distractions, including Facebook, email, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, and all my game apps, so that I can get the most out of each video. I agreed to participate in each segment by doing at least one exercise a week, so that I am making progress in my financial freedom journey. I'll ask you to sign that and date it as well. So maybe you could stop the video right here and do that. Great, so let's continue with the background of what you're going to be getting over the next series of videos. So this one, as I said, will be focused on my background, and then we'll go through each of the videos. I'll also talk about where is my cash going, which is a chapter from my upcoming book, and it's a key issue, I think, for most Americans and most non-Americans. So then we're going to be talking about the budget game. And this is a really fun exercise to do. I'm going to ask you guys all to do this exercise after we explain it next time. And then we'll get into 10 easy ways to save. I'll give you this as a PDF so you can go through and see how many of these you can actually put into practice. And therefore, you'll be cutting your expenses, increasing your cash flow, and already starting your way to financial freedom. Then I'll be getting into credit scores. What is a credit score? How is it calculated? And most importantly, how to increase your credit score. Then I'll get into my financial freedom survey. And I'll ask you guys right now to stop the video again and fill out the financial freedom survey. It takes no more than 3 minutes. It will bring you closer to financial freedom. It's a very simple survey to get you to focus on where you are now, where you've been, your beliefs, your upbringing around money. So pause the video here and fill out your financial freedom survey, which will come in a discussion in future videos. Great, so thanks for filling that out. So in the financial freedom survey, we'll be talking about your beliefs around money, how you grew up around money, what your subconscious views are, and we'll go into all of that. Then after that, we'll talk about the 7 money personality types, and you'll figure out which one you are. Now, you may be a hybrid, you may be part one, part another, but it's important to know where you are and how that's impacting your life. Then we'll be doing some manifesting techniques, which is also from my upcoming book, some techniques I use to become financially free. And then we'll get into different asset classes. We'll start with stocks. What is a stock? And then we'll actually get into calculating some ratios, defining some terms. And then what may be most interesting is I am going to give you guys free my 5-step proprietary stock screen, which outperformed the stock market every single year in the 1990s by a significant amount. It's a very simple process. I tell people it only takes a third grade education to use the stock screen to make money. And then to conclude, I'll talk about real estate. And I'll go through a 7-step process to invest in real estate. Very simple. It doesn't take a PhD to invest in real estate. So let me tell you a little bit about my background and why you should listen to me. I used techniques of manifesting while I was a hedge fund manager in 2009 and 2010 to become financially free. I manifested millions of dollars. Let me tell you a little bit about my career. I started my career as an actuary. Went through all the exams, became a fellow of the Society of Actuaries. Now, some of you may know the difference between an actuary and an accountant. An accountant looks at your feet when he talks to you. An actuary looks at his feet when he talks to you. They say an accountant is an actuary with charisma. Now, in reality, an actuary works at an insurance company or at a consulting company to an insurance company and calculates the premiums you have to pay for your insurance policy, or calculates how much money the insurance company has to set aside for future claims. Those are some of the things that actuaries do. So I did that for about 7 years, not really enjoying my day job, and realizing that my true passion was investing. And I went on a journey to become a hedge fund manager. And I asked some guys on Wall Street, how'd you get there? What'd you do? And I got doubt. Everyone I talked to, most everyone I talked to said, Joel, don't do this. You have a great job. In fact, the actuary was on the cover of Forbes magazine as the #1 job in the country in 1992. I had a great job. They told me, you're making tons of money. I was making $110,000 at 27 years old. They said, why would you want to change? But I knew this was my passion, this was my dream. And so I finally found an actuary who gave me some confidence, who said, this is the path I took to become a hedge fund manager. And so I decided to follow him on his path. I found a job at a credit rating agency called Moody's Investor Service. And I got a job there as a grunt. But he had told me, get credit analysis experience, because if you're going to be an equity analyst, a money manager, you need to understand credit. You need to understand how much money an insurance company borrows. You need to understand what their credit rating is, because that is essential for the insurance company to remain in business. And so I did. I got the job as a grunt, eventually got promoted, got my own portfolio companies to analyze and assign ratings to, but that wasn't why I went to Moody's. I went to Moody's to get the experience to become a hedge fund manager. So when a recruiter called and said they had a job as a private equity investor, I said, okay, I'm one step closer to my dream job. And I took the job at Swiss Re. And within a year, the group was disbanded, and I had to look for another job. Now I tell people, from bad things come good things, and from really terrible things come great things. Because I was about to be laid off, an actuary within Swiss Re said he heard what was going on, and he asked me if I was interested in working in credit risk management. They were looking for somebody with credit analysis skills and an actuary, so I was perfect for the job. There was only one problem, he said. It would be based in Zurich. Now, he didn't know, and you guys don't know, but one of my biggest passions in life is traveling. So I jumped at the opportunity. And in April 30th, 1999, I moved to Zurich. What was supposed to be just a 3 to 6 month stint, I begged my boss to stay later each time. She pushed it to 9 and then 12 months, and eventually 15 months, and then she said I had to go home. Despite the fact that I had only visited 30 countries in Europe, and I hadn't visited all the countries that I wanted to, I went home. But I realized I got great experience, both personally and professionally, but I wasn't one step closer to my dream job. I've actually backed up to doing credit analysis again. So I started looking for another job. I found a job at a small hedge fund. I'm one step closer to my dream. They hired me as an insurance analyst because they had credit business and they wanted me again to do credit. And I said, no, I want to work on the hedge fund. So they said, sure, within a year you'll be on the hedge fund. And it took less than that, and I started working on the hedge fund. And it was my dream. I was analyzing companies and getting paid to do it. And so I continued on my path. And when I got a call from my Citigroup salesperson asking me if I wanted to be a portfolio manager, I jumped at the opportunity. And there was January 2008, trial by fire. Some may remember the stock market went down 40%. Financial stocks went down 57%. And we were up 5%. Yes, we managed to make a small profit in the worst year since the Great Depression for financial stocks. And I made even more money the next year. We'll talk about that in future videos about manifesting. And then the whole group was disbanded again, just like it had happened at Swiss Re, because a law was passed that said banks can't own hedge funds. So that gave me the kick in the butt to start my real true job, my true passion, hedge fund manager, hedge fund company, Solomore Capital. And so in January 2013, I started my own company. I raised the money. Long story, which we'll get into again in a future series of videos. And I had my dream job, but something still didn't feel right. And in December 2015, I went to a personal development course, which changed my life. Because they had a guy there speaking about stock options, a guest speaker. And when he talked about stock options, it was as if it was a get-rich-quick scheme. You don't need much money, you don't need much time. This is how the rich people make their money. And I was sick to my stomach. I had people tap me on the shoulder, whisper in my ear, Joel, does this make sense? So we went outside after he was done, and I told him, please don't do this. He doesn't know what your assets are, your earnings, your cash flow, your risk tolerance, your tax status, or even, and most importantly, your belief level about stock options. I went home that night, couldn't sleep, and I went into my office the next morning. I sent an email to my investors telling them I'm shutting down my fund, I'm giving them their money back because I found my true purpose in life. And now, I'm helping people become financially free, working as a prosperity coach. And so I have 3 different modules. I teach people about the basics of investing. I teach people about the basics of personal finance, about budgeting and cash flow and financial freedom. And most importantly, I teach people about how to change their mindset around money, how to shift from lack and scarcity mindset, poverty consciousness, to prosperity consciousness. And we'll go into some of that in these series of videos as well. So that's a little bit of background on me, a little background about the videos that will be upcoming, and we'll be talking this next session about where is my cash going. So look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks for watching. I believe in you.